Some brands are pulling out of the country like they hit a pothole, and some brands are pulling into the country like it's the N1 just when it was built. Smooth surface, everything looks amazing, blue skies and rainbows. We're going to unpack today when the OEMs entered the country. I was actually shocked to find out when the first one entered South Africa. It was about 10 minutes after fire was discovered in South Africa, and then that factory, boom, magically appeared. They are still here. There's a serious rumor of one of my favorite brands that could be potentially exiting the country, which is very sad. It was big news a couple of days ago all over social media. Our fearless leader visited that plant. So I'm going to speak about what I've heard. And it's still unconfirmed, but from 3 different sources. I also want to go today in a direction of what happens with stolen vehicles. What actually happens with your Polo when you get hijacked? What sort of reward does the hijacker receive for doing the crime? Potential sentence in terms of jail time versus the monetary reward. So what are these guys actually risking when they point you with a weapon and tell you to get out the car? If you're lucky, tell you to get out the car. Also, each and every day on one of our platforms, I receive a comment, Bobby, where do you get your energy from? And I think it's very, very important for young men, I think women as well, but for young men, to hear it from somebody that can speak on. I've been very overweight for a long time. I know how I felt then. I know what process I took to become fit. Top G, you've been fit all your life. You look veiny and you look like you're 19 years old. And maybe I can speak from a point of this is where I was, this is where I am now, and how have you maintained your health, and what sort of supplements do you take? What is it don't? What is it do? I know you have a beautiful life story that you want to share with us. You haven't shared it yet, but this is today's episode on the Uncle B and Top G show.
So, what was the first car brand that entered South Africa and when? Now, before Bobby answers this question, or I reveal that these bloody telemarketers keep phoning me.
They are relentless, my friend.
Frickin' hell! Don't you despise telemarketers?
So they've blocked me. Sorry, we're gonna diverse quickly. They've blocked me of all telemarketers because I do it as a teachable moment in my sales environment. Uh-huh. When a telemarketer phones me, normally it's an insurance company, and then she says, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm phoning from this company. I'm like, great, nice to speak to you. And I put it on speaker. Then people already start laughing around me. I said, ma'am, by the way, how did you get to work this morning? Did you take a taxi? Did you take a train, a bus? Did you drive your own car? What do you mean? So how did you get to work? No, I took a taxi. I said, ma'am, public transport's quite dangerous. Are you permanently employed? And then she says, yes. Why? I said, great. Do you earn more than 8,500 Rand per month? Yes. Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna literally change your life. You were meant to call me today. What do you mean? So, ma'am, we can offer you a beautiful 2025 Grand i10. I'm going to structure your payments this way. And then I try and sell them my car.
Friend, I'm going to steal that. Next telemarketer to phone me. You are going to be on Auto Trader's website and you are going to be searching for cars.
Absolutely. Did you get here with a bus, with a train? What's the story? Like, you're a young girl. I can hear you're an attractive girl. Like, I'm sure people are groping you at the taxi ranks. Let's get you in a car.
We have 110,000 cars, trucks, buckies, and bikes for you to choose from.
Go for it. Autotrader.co.za. And then just look at Mitmac cars as well, please. Don't ignore us. We are here.
Mitmac is in between all of that stuff. So, my friend, Ford Motor Company.
Yes.
They entered South Africa when load shedding wasn't even a thought yet.
Okay. What year was that?
1923. Ford Motor Company seems to have been the first OEM. I was surprised that Mercedes-Benz was 1950s.
50s only?
Yeah.
Wow.
But Ford Motor Company was not. Here's another one. I put this thing on Do Not Disturb, and we should actually take the call live.
Take it.
I've already killed it.
So Do Not Disturb works, but if you phone back to back, it goes through because it thinks it's an emergency, which it's not.
1923 Ford Motor Company, and then they re-entered in the 2000s. So it seems like, unless there's any other evidence for another OEM, it seems like Ford was one of the first in South Africa.
Amazing. And I love the way that they've innovated. They've like literally in real time now, we are advertising a Ford Amarok. And people are like, no, it's a Ford Ranger. It's an Amarok. It's a Ford Amarok. So the recent collaboration that they did was freaking brilliant. And I think if you look at their lineup, they're very smart on how they execute. What was BMW's entry date, my friend? Do you have the data?
1968.
So they've been a minute.
Toyota 1960s, VW 1951. So all the top brands, Mercedes-Benz, we're not going to forget about Mercedes-Benz, 1950s. So it seems like all the top searched for brands on Auto Trader have been here since before 1950 or 1960. All the others are post 1960. So Isuzu, 2017, Nissan, 1966, Mahindra entered in 2004.
And they're going strong. They're doing well.
So is the time period that they've been in the market the reason why South African consumers are so brand loyal to these German brands? Well, Toyota's up there, not a German brand, Japanese brand. So besides Toyota, all the others are German brands.
Do you have the data for Nissan?
Nissan 1966.
1966. So it's right up there. It's between the rest.
Yeah.
And which brands have exited?
So the brands that have left, General Motors, okay, because it seems like the reason they exited in 2017 was they said goodbye to right-hand drive cars.
Okay.
To a large degree. Not sure how true that is, but somebody in the comments is going to correct us. But 2017, they exited South Africa as General Motors. Daihatsu exited in 2015. Fiat had a temporary scale back before re-entry. And then Opel, which was a General Motors owned brand, almost exited in 2017. And then Peugeot and Citroën have had a bit of a start-stop history and now under Stellantis.
Which is in trouble.
Which, well, in our market or internationally?
In our market.
In our market.
Is in trouble, yeah.
So those are the brands that have exited South Africa. It doesn't seem like we've had a big German brand exit South Africa.
Yet. Yeah. So is that because there has never been? It's like the boxing world. You know, there was a Mike Tyson entry, and then that was like the real competitor of the boxing world. In his era, he absolutely dominated and terrorized everybody. Is that perhaps the Chinese invasion today?
Well, Chinese brands that have entered South Africa. Let's have a look at the last couple of years. So since 2020, Chinese brands that have entered South Africa: Chery re-entered in 2021.
Yes.
Amoda 2023. Haval 2020. Aura 2023. If you want a car that's not being stolen at the moment, buy an Aura.
Yeah.
Bike, factory completion pushed post 2020, but they're still in the country.
Yes.
And then JAC 2022. Those are Chinese brands.
Yes.
So that's a long list since 2020.
Huge.
Post the pandemic. And then Malaysian brands, Proton re-entered in 2022. And BYD entered in 2023, who is an electric vehicle specialist. I think they're going to potentially take the electric vehicle market in South Africa from a mass market perspective. And then Indian entrants, Mahindra, not new to the country, but they've got a local assembly post 2020. So in the last 5 years, Chinese brands have dominated entry into South Africa.
And I can now reveal the three people that have contacted me over the last couple of days with information that, it actually saddens me. So whether this is true or not, I want to play sort of both sides of the fence and figure out if this, then this, and why. So apparently, allegedly, we can use that word because a lawyer a long time ago said, as long as you use allegedly before a statement, it's either true or false. But allegedly, BMW wants to sell the plant and remain...
The one in Roslyn?
Yes, 60,000 square meters and remain on lease for 10 years.
Okay.
So
Isn't that, I suppose that's not a sign of exit, that's a sign of options.
well,
Keeping the options open.
they've been here since the 50s. Why do they need options?
Well, I mean, is Pretoria still the best place to manufacture a car?
So option being moving it to, for logistical purposes, closer to the coast, like in KZN somewhere, maybe
To a port?
to a port where...
I mean, we tinfoil hat kind of conspiracy theory, but getting into a lease versus owning a property creates freedom. I think you said earlier on, it creates freedom.
Freedom, yeah. So...
Because everybody's going to jump on this bandwagon. Oh, leaving the country. Top German brand, established since 1968. Most searched for brand on Auto Trader.
Yes. Entry point BMW, exit point Polo Vivo.
So isn't it a scenario? I'm theorizing. It's just creating options.
So, a couple of years ago, quick story. The gentleman that retired as the plant director for BMW Roslyn, he converted from 3 Series to X3, but he's got a very, very strong CV. Opened a couple of plants in China, BMW plants in China, I think one in the States, and he opened Mini in the UK. The manufacturing plant. Just as he was retiring, I'd been selling cars to his PA for many, many years. She's a very close friend. She's a lot older than me. She's twice my age almost. But consider a friend.
So she's 32.
Yeah, 32 plus VAT. Consider her a friend, and her husband invite me to their home for tea. It's like beautiful. They could be my grandparents, but we've got a very cool relationship. Husband keeps on scratching his vehicle, and then we just, Henry down the road here keeps on, he's like, well, don't worry about it. We'll sort you out. Anyway, she says, this gentleman is an absolute powerhouse. I think that his last plant tour, he wants to award you. So I'm like, freaking out. Like, I've never met him. Let's go. So I had an opportunity to go through the plant, and he's very technical and shows me how BMW Roslyn have actually won Plant of the Year, beating Germany in manufacturing in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
With all our shit. Okay. So they measure how much sparks fly off a spot weld. It's incredible. You're a data guy. You'll go nuts in there. How much the conversion of positively charging the liquid when they dip it into those pans and coming out, dripping all the excess off in terms of priming the vehicle, etc., etc. Like the real data guy, we're saving 16.5% here, 18% here to optimize everything, right? Okay, so I'm amazed. So I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, you're so young. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know, Bob. So I'm like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to come help me sort out this freaking depot that we've got going. At that stage, we're building the depot, and I don't know anything about, I don't know as much as he does about processes and procedures. And anyway, I recruit him, a quick 6-month contract. we agreed on a figure. He helped me with some stuff. The gent absolutely helped us out at the depot, and had a lot of opportunity to speak to him about processes and procedures. So I've got a little bit of insight in terms of how a factory like that is run. But now, with my tinfoil hat on, I'm thinking, all right, 3 people have reached out and said, hey, Bobs, we heard this. Have you heard anything? I'm like, shit, you're the second person. And last night, someone else called me and said, Bobs, I've heard this. So the president was there a couple of days ago. Was it just a meet and greet and hello, everybody? Or was there an attempt to actually save the location and save the jobs, save the economic impact of what it will do to us?
Because those factories employ thousands of people.
Thousands. They're working 3 shifts.
Yeah.
And even though, we've got a fantastic team, and again, I'm not anti-government or for government. I'm just, as a pure business decision, the quality is world-class.
Yeah.
The delivery on expectation is world-class. Everything is world-class. Is the economic climate or the pressure causing them to go and look for options? Because could they do this in Brazil? The answer is yes. There's already plants there. Could they do this in Mexico? The answer is yes. There's already plants there. Could they do that in another South American country? And logistically, would it be an expense, or will it be similar to what it costs to produce a car in another country, except you don't need to deal with the load shedding, you don't need to deal with all these unions and all the pressures and all the BS.
So, I mean, this theoretical story played out in Australia.
Yes.
Okay. Australia was a car manufacturer.
Yes.
So they assembled. I mean, you get the knockdown and the semi-knockdown versions. They used to assemble cars in Australia. They no longer assemble cars in Australia. From 1920 to 2017, Australia had local assembly operations for major brands: Ford, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and in the mid-1980s, they tried to consolidate manufacturing and reduced vehicle import tariffs. So the kicker was reducing import tariffs from 60% to 15% in 2000. So these tariffs between countries are a big driver of whether a manufacturer stays or not, it seems. I mean, this is a true story. It happened in Australia. Eventually, they phased out import tariffs entirely.
So 0 import tariffs.
On cars. Yes.
On cars.
Which then made local production uncompetitive.
Yeah, you can't.
So they went to 15% in 2000. We're currently at 18%. So is our trade environment with other countries wrong? In order to continue to manufacture in the country, should we look at all the Chinese vehicles that are being imported at what I call a value delta? So the 80% build quality of a Chinese vehicle versus a German or European vehicle.
You're at 80%.
I reckon it's 80% build quality.
Okay.
It's not up there with a BMW or a VW.
Okay. Sure, but at a different price point, yeah.
But at 60% of the price. So that 20% delta of value is what the consumer's after, right? And so is our trading tariffs at the right level in order to support local manufacture?
Great question. I don't know.
I don't know what the answer to that is. But there's something is driving the import of Chinese vehicles and the reduction of European and German vehicle sales.
And on the other side of the fence, let's say, for example, Chery decide, okay, we can utilize this plant. Would they be able to build that car and sell it at the same price point, or would it be cheaper just building it there and bringing it over
exactly.
here?
So this is how the Australian manufacturing environment collapsed. First of all, high local costs. Now, see how much of this movie is playing here. It's almost like a
Deja vu
moment, some of it. Okay, so high labor costs, right? Do we have high labor costs? Don't know. How does it compare to
the rest of the world?
The rest of the world. Strong Australian dollar. Okay, so we don't tick that box. We've got a weak South African rand and weakening. Small domestic market. We've got a small domestic market.
Yes.
Declining government support, subsidies, tariffs, and incentives. How much of that movie is playing out in South Africa, and does it mean that we become a net importer of vehicles in the long run? Now, I know that Chery has said that they are looking at vehicle assembly in the country, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter who the OEM is.
Yes.
You can demonize the Chinese vehicles as much as you want. They build good cars.
Yes. Agree.
They build good cars, and the price delta is there. So is this movie playing out in a way that it's just not economically viable for the German and European brands to stay?
And then looking at that move internationally, is our market a high enough percentage for them to even care?
Well, that's why the local market is small.
It's very small.
We have, our car park has 12, 13 million vehicles in the country. On Auto Trader, we touch about, and this is just cars, never mind trucks and bikes. We touch about 100,000 vehicles a month, okay, coming through our system. Local new car sales is anywhere between 30 to 40,000 units a month.
Yeah.
So that's what, 400,000 a year.
Yeah, it's significant. I think it's quite big.
So if you've got, let's say, 1 million used trading,
Yeah.
but you've got 400 to 500,000 new vehicles trading, how does that compare to big markets like Europe and America and China and India?
Oh, it's tiny.
We're tiny, drop in the ocean. Now, Australia was even smaller, because Australia has got a couple of million people.
Yes.
Versus our 60 million, but we only have 14 million employed individuals.
That's the trick.
So if you really distill our market down to the brass tacks and facts, only 14 million people really can afford to own a motor vehicle. So your market becomes even smaller. So we tick that box of a small market versus the rest of the world in a big way. So is it economically viable under the current trade environment for a manufacturer to continue manufacturing vehicles?
And looking at what they manufacture in Roslyn, it's only one derivative. It's only an X3.
And a lot of that is export.
Most of it is export.
Exactly. So unless we grow the export market, the local market can't sustain a manufacturing plant.
So tricky.
It's so tricky.
It will just be super duper sad to see a manufacturing plant like that, which is world class, get lost to a South American country.
In 2024 alone, Australia's manufacturing sector lost 5,100 businesses.
5,100 businesses
across energy, textiles, glass, metals, and a lot more.
How many people worked at that business?
Let's find out.
What is the GDP implication to that? It's huge.
It's huge. If you're a net importer, so employment fell by approximately 29,700 jobs, a drop of 3.3% as at May 25.
That's scary, my friend.
268,000 people were retrenched, 12.5% of all job losses across all these industries.
Because it's an ocean. I mean, looking at just BMW alone, they, I actually worked on that topic. I worked with someone very closely that his previous life, he worked at a plant that manufactured pressed panels for Nissan. And the SLA agreements were of the nature that there was something like R1 million fine for every hour worth of production lost on the MP300 while it was still being built. Meaning if they don't supply certain panels and there's a cock-up somewhere, the delivery was a mess up or something happened, R1 million per hour was the fine towards the factory, to the point where they even had SLA agreements of them flying out certain components, key components, to the plant with a helicopter.
Wow.
It was cheaper because it was manufactured in Krugersdorp. It was cheaper to fly out those components with a helicopter than face a 2-hour delay in production at R1 million an hour. So, and
because it's a volume business.
Volume business. And that specific plant, I think, employed something like 900 odd people, only pressing panels to drop off at Nissan so that the cars can be assembled.
High volume, low margin. You can't afford to come down in volume.
No.
It's just impossible.
No. So, very interesting times we live in. I don't think the German brands have ever experienced the Mike Tyson of the automotive industry, which is the Chinese brands coming in and absolutely dominating.
Well, they're the Mike Tyson. I think the Jake Paul's on its way.
Yeah, 100%. Whether it is, another tinfoil hat, which many wear, the Chinese government subsidizes these prices that they come in, disrupt. The long-term plan is come in, do a massive disruption. By the time they bring the prices up to where they should be, and they are relative to the German brands, they've absolutely eroded most of the competition.
Yeah.
The used car pool is full of Chinese cars, and the country has accepted them as this is what we drive now.
So, I mean, moving on from manufacturing to car crime. You were on a podcast the other day.
Yes.
Related to car crime.
Yes.
And obviously car crime is up in the country. And I think most people's sentiment towards this is that not my problem.
Yeah. Until it is.
Until it is. So that's why I say if you don't want a stolen car, drive an or a funky cat. Because while you're test driving a car, someone's cloning the plates.
Yeah. 100%.
And you guys as car dealers face this problem on a daily basis.
Yeah, I can tell you stories. A quick story. It happened a couple of weeks ago. Cars pull into Midmac 1, into the dealership, armed. They pull in and immediately come to me, and one of the cars that's registered on your name has committed a cash in transit, an E-Class Mercedes committed a cash in transit. So I'm like, holy shit, is there a car that was stolen that we don't know about? We do daily stock takes, but anything's possible. I look for the car. Our system says it's at Midmac 1. It's in the middle of the showroom, and it can't start because the battery is flat. I'm like, here's the car. It can't start. So I don't know how it got from the crime scene. You can feel the bonnet's not hot, and literally, like, I wish it could start, but it's going to cost me $3,000 to change the battery. So cloning of number plates, they obviously.
So how does this happen? I mean, how do they get past the legal system? Because it's easy to clone a number plate. I see a white Toyota, it's got that number plate. I go, and it's easy to have a number plate printed. I stick it on another white Toyota.
Yes.
But that's not the end of it.
Yes, that's not. So let's unpack it. Couple of scenarios with a stolen car. First one is, and I love using the Polo Vivo because it's the most stolen car in our country. It's the most sold car in our country. That's why it's the most stolen car. Once the or what is it?
Funky
Hellcat,
cat.
meerkat, funky cat. Once that
Have you
becomes
driven a funky cat?
no,
It
I
is-
saw
it
you
is-
driving one
it
on
is
your
an
Instagram.
awesome
though.
car.
Is it a fully electric car?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
Fully
yes,
electric
it's
car.
Fully
Okay.
electric.
So once that becomes the most sold car, guess what? It will be the most stolen car as well. 'cause
Well, I don't know
supply and
about
demand.
electrics. I don't know what the crime stats are on EVs, but I don't think they are as stolen as an ICE vehicle.
Because they're not as sold as an ICE vehicle.
Not
in my
as sold and not as understood.
opinion. Yeah.
I think you can't jumpstart that thing.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. But take a Polo. 13,000 Rand is what a hot Polo is worth on the underground market. 13,000. There's 4 of us in the room. Okay, 2 on camera, 2 off camera. It's a team of 4 to hijack a Polo. There's a getaway car, there's a watch person, and it's normally 1 or 2 people that actually commit the actual crime. So the guy that points you with a gun, get out my car if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, like climb on the back seat, we're going to go for a drive now. So a family member of mine was involved in something similar with the Ford Ranger, where he was put at the back and drove on a dirt road, and luckily got told to get out the car, took his phone, and like walking around in the bundoos there for
Well,
hours.
I mean, quite often they're not after you; they're after the car.
After the car, yeah. But 13,000 Rand, what do they do with the car? Scenario 1 is when they steal a Hilux, Fortuner, Polo Vivo, the vehicle goes to the chop shop. Those guys are hyper efficient. Like an hour and a half later, 90 minutes, there is nothing. It's just a floorboard. The seats are ripped out, airbags. All those things are worth a lot of money. If you think about an airbag is like 40, 50, 60,000 Rand. Then you've got control modules. You've got all that electronic setup.
And quite often they're not traceable, those parts.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not traceable because, I mean, the only things that are really stamped is the engine block,
Yeah,
the chassis,
yeah.
and then you've got the plates and the disc
Safety
on the car.
belts have numbers and stuff like that.
But that's also not easily traceable.
No. There is data dot on some parts, but when it's stripped, you can see where the data dot is, and there are chemicals that you can use to remove the data dot. It's like basic stuff. So immediately that car is bought for 13,000 Rand, stripped, and probably doubled or tripled the money on the market selling space to insurance companies. It like this panel beating world, my friend, is just another dark place. Okay. Then you have the second scenario, which is we have an order for a car, whatever the car is. Let's say it's
Polo Vivo.
no, a RS Hilux 4x4 Auto White. And it's an order from an up Africa country, usually Mozambique. So the vehicle gets stolen, gets smuggled into Mozambique, through the border, paying bribes. That vehicle gets registered because the African countries above us are allowed to register imported vehicles.
Import second-hand vehicles.
Second-hand vehicles.
So this is allowed in Europe. They're allowed to import second-hand vehicles from country to country, but in South Africa, you're not allowed to import second-hand vehicles.
Yes.
Whereas in African countries, you can.
You can. So paperwork gets generated that vehicle comes from Japan or wherever it comes from, gets registered on their system, and it actually gets sold as a used car, even though it's a stolen car in South Africa. That's it. Thousands go through. And one of our most viral videos is a Quantum, if you remember, Als, where I said this car will go from Pretoria to Maputo undetected in a couple of hours, because that's what happens. It gets stolen, and undetected it ends up in Maputo. So that's the second scenario. And the third scenario is, the third one is split into two again. So they'll take a high-performance car and commit crime with it. Cash in transits, they'll commit hijackings with that vehicle as a getaway vehicle, do robberies, kidnappings, all this other stuff. Or they will steal that vehicle, buy a vehicle that was written off, but still a code 2, used car. So from one of the insurance companies, vehicle rolled, whatever. And they basically buy the papers and clone that vehicle. And that's a heavy crime. And it's difficult to also go and convict on. because it changes names a couple of times in a very short period of time. So who actually committed the crime? You have to prove, going backwards in time, that I bought this vehicle and it's cloned from him. And I've gone through 14 of these cases. It's very tedious. My friend, it's made me old. Like, I've aged because of this shit. It takes a lot of money and 3 years if you have an excellent attorney to prove that person guilty. Then he says, cool, I'm guilty, but here's a contract where I bought it from this person. And when you do a historical NATIS check, you can see that it changed names from person A to person B. So he's also a victim of a crime. Or is he? Process starts again. Very difficult to convict. Very few convictions happen. And the person that I bought it from can say, listen, it makes sense. I have to pay you back. I can afford to pay you back 600 Rand a month. It's a 200 grand car. That's all I can afford.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it or leave it. If you don't want it, no problem. I'm going to go and sue the person that I bought it from or prove him guilty, and then I will try and extract the money out of him. That's the reality of the stolen car scene in South Africa.
So I mean, let's talk about kind of how this impacts dealerships, because it impacts the end consumer ultimately.
Yes.
End consumer buys either a legitimate vehicle, okay, that has not been in a major accident, has not been cloned, and all's good in the world. Alternatively, a consumer buys a cloned vehicle,
yeah,
or a consumer buys a vehicle that has been in a major accident. In both scenarios, people like to beat up dealerships.
Yeah.
But in both scenarios, there is the high possibility that you as a dealership don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. A lack of access to information is the main cause.
Let's get into the lack of access to information. So you as a dealership, you buy a second-hand vehicle because you're a second-hand vehicle trader, effectively. Yeah. So you buy a second-hand vehicle. What are your major barriers in checking to see whether this vehicle has been in a major accident, alternatively, not been cloned? How difficult is that?
It's quite easy to check if you have access to information.
If you have access to the information, yes. But if you don't?
If you don't, it's impossible. So if you have access to historical data on the eNatus system,
how do you get that information as a dealer?
It's very difficult.
Very difficult. I think that's where my point is leading, is that not every dealer has access to the NATIS database.
Legally, only 3 in the country.
Exactly.
Legally. We are one of them, and the orange company and the green company. They've got access to that information legally. The rest of the dealer network...
So let's put that in perspective. AutoTrader has approximately 2,400 dealer customers.
Yeah. Only 3 have.
Only 3
have
access to this information.
Yeah. Legally. Most of them have it with a form of either a reward arrangement with vouchers to an employee inside that will screenshot this information and send it out, or a friend of a friend that has a arrangement with a screenshot that gets sent out inside. So
and all in an attempt to make sure that the vehicle hasn't been in a major crash, or is not cloned.
Yeah, you've got a couple of bylaws that are working against you as a dealer. One is POPIA, so protection of personal information, and I've had countless conversations. It's literally made me even older to try and open this to the market. The way that we received or were awarded access to the system was very tedious. It was myself and 3 other people in the company had to go for criminal checks. Our IP addresses had to be white labeled and locked, and we can only access it from one computer at one location, one at a time with login details. And the reason for that is there's lots of info that system shows. ID numbers, dates.
It's a papaya problem.
Yes, papaya problem. However, the way that you can mitigate the risk is just show less information and remove all the addresses, remove all the telephone numbers, remove all the IDs, and just give us history check. If you can have a history check and pick up that this vehicle was on an insurance company, let's say 2 years ago, and then it in quick successions it changed names. Now recently, 6 months ago, it changed names 6 or 7 times. 9.9 out of 10, that's a cloned vehicle. And that's the first check. So you do a background check, paperwork behind the scenes, and then when we send out the evaluator, that person is also very well trained to go, and I'll give you a quick tip, like the weirdest thing. A chassis sticker on a car, on any car, the actual sticker, the black sticker with the white writing on it, every single Toyota on our floor, you can go and pick a random key. The top right-hand corner has been broken off. Okay, it's weird, right? Mm-hmm. Have you heard me speak on this before? You have. Okay, so the reason for that is when the criminal makes the exchange, they've got 2 choices. They can go and cut out that panel. So they can go into where the panel is put together. Let's say the center pillar of the car. On a Toyota, let's take a Fortuner, for example. It's driver's side. Sorry, Toyota is. It's either driver's side or passenger side. I think it's passenger side. So they can cut off that piece of the accident damaged vehicle and put it onto the cloned vehicle, which in most cases is not an option because the thing is twisted and it's not like a straight. Or they can manufacture a sticker. So you can print a sticker and you can stick it on. It looks 1-to-1. The problem is the original one can't peel off on an MP200 as well.
It gets damaged.
Yeah, when you try and peel it off, it breaks into tiny little pieces. So if that sticker breaks on your car, it's a legit car. If you can peel it off and put it back on, it's a cloned car. So that's one of the 10 or 12 things that our evaluators go and look for. There's hidden numbers on each and every variant, but you as a doctor or a lawyer don't know these things. So you don't know where to check. You're an easy target.
So I think my overarching point though is that while we have the systems in the country, not the systems, we have the data in the country to be able to have these things checked on behalf of the consumer. The Papaya Act is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say part of the problem, but part of the hurdle.
Obstacle, yeah.
And out of 2,400 dealers, only 3 have access to the information in order to check whether the vehicle might have been in a major accident or not.
Yeah.
So the dealer is as much at risk as the consumer is.
Absolutely.
What does the consumer do?
Very hard.
It's very difficult. I don't think there's an answer right now, because I'm pretty sure that there are thousands of dealers in the country who want to legitimately trade with vehicles that are not crashed or not stolen.
Yeah, or cloned. Yeah.
Or cloned.
Yeah. Because the vehicle
their
that you...
lives are physically difficult in trying to do that.
Because the reality is the cloned car was never in an accident. Because that car's legit. It was literally stolen out of somebody's garage.
Yeah.
And then remodeled to look like a vehicle that it's not. So when you physically inspect the car has never had an accident repair on it. And that's what makes it so freaking hard.
Awesome topic.
Hopefully we can solve this problem one day in the very near future.
Yes, I'd love for the entire industry to get together to solve this problem. I think the democratization of that data in a papaya legitimate, compliant way is the answer.
And it's possible. It's
actually access
easy.
to that NATIS database for everybody. Because in other countries, companies have access to the NATIS database in a compliant way.
Yeah.
And our challenge is access to that NATIS database.
Even at a cost.
Even at a cost.
Even at a cost, because if a gentleman is looking to buy a car for his daughter and he's identified 5 vehicles, he'll be
It's like doing a credit check on a human.
yeah, exactly, yeah, a health check on a car.
Yes, it's a health check on a car.
Yeah,
Because there are so many good dealers out there who sometimes sell a crashed car
yeah,
to a consumer. The dealer doesn't even know
yeah,
that car has been in a major accident. Yes, there are these, bad acting dealers. I believe that they're the minority in the country. But then how do you even identify those?
and I think there's a place for them in the market as well. It's not a problem as long as the person knows.
Well, a crashed, repaired vehicle,
Yeah.
restored vehicle is fine
Yeah.
as long as the consumer knows what they're buying.
Yeah,
So what's the trick as a consumer is you've got to take the signs into account. First of all, is the dealer a low star rated dealer?
yeah, that's your
That's
first point.
Red flag number 1. What are their ratings and reviews on AutoTrader? If the rating and review is low, ask some questions. It doesn't mean it's a bad dealer. Just ask some questions. That's red flag number 1.
Yeah,
Red flag number 2 for me is a vehicle that is priced too good to be true, because it probably is.
yeah, of course.
If the price is too low, you as a consumer need to ask some serious questions.
Yeah, lots of scammers out there. Where I literally, in real time, I'm dealing with it as we speak, a manufactured mid-Mac invoice for a car that is like a tenth of the price, where the customer is asking, is this legit or not? Now, I'm asking him, what do you think? Do you think this is legit? Luckily, my number is on all social media platforms, so it's easy to send me a WhatsApp. I'm getting thousands a day. What do you think, sir? He says, well, that's why I'm asking you. I said, no. He obviously came to the source, and thank you. Did you pay them anything? No. Do you think this is real? No.
Yeah.
It can't be real. You cannot buy a Hilux D4D bakkie for 75,000 Rand. That makes 0 sense. That's like a 450,000 Rand vehicle for 75,000 Rand. And they're asking you a deposit to have an opportunity to view the car. That's scallop.
It is scallop. Let's move on to our next topic, Uncle B, which is these youngsters today
Yes.
that want instant success.
Yes. Amazing.
Everybody wants instant success, but what age group do you think we're talking about here?
So one of my favorite things to post on my story, and one of the reasons that I post it so often, it's almost a daily occurrence. Every time I go train, I'll say advice for young men with some nice hip hop music that I like. So if you don't like it, it's your problem. Just switch the volume off, but take the advice. Is one of the things that I say: do not let losers with no results influence your potential. Okay, so that's the one side, which means a lot of people have an opinion on the internet today, a massive opinion, and they've got a megaphone, but they don't have any results. So they want to coach you on a subject which they're not an expert in, but they've heard some stuff. And now they're going to present this as, this is what I've done, and you shouldn't, or you should do it this way.
Or they've used ChatGPT.
Or they use ChatGPT. Yeah, that's another tool. That's the one version. The second version is the people that you see on, like, I love Andy Frisella. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. Andy Frisella is the American version of Albie Geldenhuys in South Africa. So he owns a company called First Form. In the States, it's an energy drink, but it's a healthy energy drink. What I like him is, when you look at him, he's healthy. He's not like Albie, like, hats off to him. I think he's such a kick-ass human. He's in his 50s, like you, six-pack, ripped, and he sells USN, and he lives USN. This is me. This is who I am. But Andy Frisella will post a car and say, don't be impressed by this car. He's got lots of cars. Like, follow that channel. Don't be impressed by the car. Here's what you need to be impressed by. Then he unpacks it. I woke up at 4 a.m. I trained. This is what I eat during the day. This is the amount of pressure and stress that I've had to handle for 20 years before I started making money. So 20 years, lived on a mattress with his brother in a one-room apartment, building his brand. And eventually he got some momentum and he capitalized on the momentum because he was smart. But he's got skills. He knows how to do things. Where today people come in, and I've started selling the nightmare in our company a lot more than selling the dream. We just had, a couple of days ago, we had the knockout rounds of our cadetship program. So 18 came in, right? How many came in? 18 came in. We hired 6. And the day that we hired them, I tried to discourage them to work for me. I tried. The number one guy's name is Jaden. He sits right here next to me now. I said, Jaden, everything that we've taught you, so your ability to take information and give it back is amazing. You're a great communicator. You're 19. You look good. We make him do push-ups when he doesn't hit certain markers. Make him do push-ups. You physically, you're strong. You're motivated. You're dedicated. I don't think you can handle the rejection. What do you mean? Like, I want to work with you because you're going to... no, I don't think you can handle the rejection. So me selling the nightmare is, it's going to take you time. You need to get good before you get paid. That getting good before you're getting paid, even as I say it, sounds like, yes, it sucks.
Hard.
It sucks.
Everybody wants a Lamborghini in 3 months, but doesn't wake up before 8 a.m.
They don't do Lamborghini shit. That's the problem. Everybody wants a BMW, but they don't do BMW shit. So I think that quick success and looking at your Instagram of what people have achieved and what people are doing and what they're driving and how they got there is the how part that's missing, in my opinion. So rather than looking at the way I see Andy Frisella is, I check this dude, he's in his 50s. He's got a scar over his face here because he got robbed when he was young and someone stabbed him with a knife. So he grows his beard over it, but he's always conscious about it. So he always says, this is a scar because I got robbed and stabbed. I almost died. I look at him, I'm like, what is that person's DNA? Like, how is he wired to be able to have all these scars in this massive business? And that's the value, not the car.
It's the mindset today seems to be, I deserve versus I've earned.
So I'm going to type out a list of things that you deserve in the comment section, and the list is not long, and it's actually no list because you deserve nothing.
You deserve 0.
Yeah. Until
you've earned, you deserve 0.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the mindset issue. I many years ago, I had a drive. I was young and stupid. Now I'm just older and even stupider.
No, you're not.
Young and stupid, and I thought I could motivate anyone into success. In today's world, I now, like you, try and discourage. I now look for people to surround myself with that are intrinsically motivated.
Yeah,
I don't have the energy
to
motivate you every day.
Yeah, push-pull. Push-pull. Exactly. I'm going to explain to you what push-pull to me means.
You need to come into the world with this internal drive and motivation without the expectation to earn.
Yeah. Yeah. January this year, sales meeting. I'm not pushing anyone anymore. That's the mindset. Here's what that means. I will show up every day the way that is an example of how you should show up. I show up on time. I leave last. The time I spend between the 2 events is just me pushing and driving hard. Every single day, I will post content at the times when it's supposed to be done. I'll make sure that I check all the boxes to the best of my ability. I eat in front of everybody. At my desk, everyone asks me, why do you eat the following stuff? I eat like a dog. So I eat the same thing every day, even on weekends. Same thing. But the way that our coffee shop prepares it is healthy. So if I'm going to push you to be that way, it's going to be hard because you haven't had the life experiences that I've had. You don't want the things that I want. You're not wired the same way, and it's going to end up in resentment. You will resent me if I continuously push you. Like I was very bad a couple of years ago. Like I'll catch someone with a pie, and then I'll put them in the corner, and I'll say, "What the fuck are you eating a pie for?" So you're gonna crash and burn in half an hour, and I'm gonna lose you for the rest of the day because you're putting junk in your tummy. I thought you wanted to be a winner. I thought you wanted to be number one. It seems like you lied to me, and then I'll walk away. And that's like the worst thing I can say to someone, because immediately I created an enemy, and that person's no longer here, and that's a good guy. So in order for me to get you to 30 cars, you need to follow a sequencing, which I know how to get you there because I've got proven results around me. But you don't want to get to 30 cars. You want to be a 12-car person. So I'll pull the 30-car people around me and have them sit next to me. The guys that are comfortable doing 12 cars, I can't get them to 15. I'm like, you have so much freaking potential. I wish you didn't eat a pie. And then later on, I realized it's not only the pie. It's the way that
the pie is an external manifestation of the person inside.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So push-pull.
Push-pull, exactly. It's, for me, coffee is a tool.
Yes.
It's
a superpower.
You can't say ice cream is a tool.
Can't.
Coffee is a tool. I've got energy all day long. But it's taken me 25 years to figure that out.
How to understand your body. And maybe I think that's a very important topic, because when someone says to me, how do you have this much energy? The first question that I ask them is, what did you do today in terms of exercise? Have you trained today? No. What did you eat? Well, I ate this, and a pie.
So let me ask you this question. Without exercising, how long does your energy levels last before it starts to decline?
No, it's so of late I don't have rest days or skip gym. I have days where I feel my body needs this recovery period. So depending on how your training schedule goes, I go low weight, high reps until fatigued. But I always leave like at least 2 reps in the tank. That system works for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not work for the next person. So if I'm doing arms or whatever, if I'm doing legs, I always leave 2 reps, because that way I actually steal the energy in the gym and I can deploy it in the company.
So I've figured my body out in that 48 hours. 48 hours without exercise.
You decline.
And I can start to feel the energy decline.
Okay.
So I can have a whole 1-day rest period.
And you're sweet on energy.
And I'm still okay. If I push it beyond 48 hours,
you feel it.
I notice day 3. My energy is not the same.
And in terms of, because this is a big question, supplements. Are you pro or anti-supplements?
So my perspective is that medical science has come a long way in the last 100 years.
Yeah, agree.
Okay. If you are not using it to your advantage,
you're falling behind.
You're falling behind.
Yeah.
So medical science has already shown that if you're on a carnivore diet, you need to supplement with vitamin C, vitamin D and K, and especially vitamin D if you're not living in a sunny country.
Yeah.
You got to take vitamin D. So if you're not feeding your body with the nutrients that it needs from supplements, but you got to understand what the nutrients are.
Yes.
And it's always, so supplements, the word supplement is not replacement.
It's supplement.
It's supplement, okay? So you got to look at your diet, understand your energy levels, and then understand the things that are missing.
And supplement those.
Supplement for those.
Boom.
There is no silver bullet. I can't tell you this is the list that I take, so therefore this is the list that you take. It depends on your DNA, because 30% of your success is going to be as a result of your DNA. You're out of the starting gates with a third of what you are is going to be your DNA and your genes.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be diet, exercise, and nutrition.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be supplements.
Got you. So that's the cherry on top.
And it's very, very simple. It's really not hard to figure out. It just takes time and consistency to figure out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just take any old thing that, this is the new thing that's being advertised. Like, why are you taking it? Can you get it from food?
Okay, so I'm going to answer your original question with what you just said over the last 10 minutes. So people want a quick success recipe, okay? But those people are competing against you, who just spoke 10 minutes on purely you have focused 25 years on understanding how to maximize your energy so that you can kick everyone's ass. And they're competing against you. And they're complaining that they're losing.
I will outwork the 25-year-olds.
No, sixfold. I've got zero doubt in that. But it's because you have compounded so much of understanding myself. This is how my body reacts to certain things. It takes me 48 hours to see an energy dip, which means if I had a overseas trip, you flew to, I think Italy was your last trip. So there you're not training. You can tell me you are, but you're not. I know you're not.
Well, I go to the gym at least in the 48-hour window.
Okay, good.
And I mean, the gyms in the hotels are crap.
Yeah, yes, generally. But you know that you have to stimulate your body while you are on this trip. Otherwise, you're not going to be as effective and as formidable as if you don't. And then the people are competing against you. And then they think, shit, how did he beat me? That's just one part of what you do. It's not strategy on, we had a discussion. Auto Traders leads are up because of certain movements and colors of buttons. I'm like, huh? Like the color of the button we changed, and that showed a growth in the amount of leads we send to dealers. And then also calls went up. We want messages to go up, so we put the button here because you are thinking about, are people holding their phone? So guys, you're competing against males like this. Are people holding their phone like this and it's easier for them to press the button on the right-hand side? Or are people holding the phone like this and pressing the call button here because your finger can't reach on the left-hand side? Right. You answered your question.
What is that guy that
Who's that guy? Will Smith. So that's how you answered
not the
your
famous
question.
Will Smith. There's I think there's a Nigerian guy.
Oh yes. That TikTok sensation.
Yes.
100%. Yeah, he's very funny. Yeah. He doesn't speak, but he's like, that's it. So take all those micro, which add into macro, and there's the winning formula. Sorry, my friend, a cool story
it's micro moves over a long period of time
that make a huge difference.
That make the huge difference.
Kiara is looking at a watch, so I'm gonna close with this.
Yes.
It was the UK cycling team. A new coach came in and they were like performing really crappy. I think you told me the story. Someone told me the story. And that person went and said, okay, how do we get maximum improvement out of this team? And he said, I want a 10% increase in everything that they do. So 10% bet on nutrition, 10% bet on helmet technology, 10% bet on training, 10% bet on kit, 10% bet on shoes, and then they won. Because they added 10% in each and every single state.
The micro moves.
Yes,
exactly.
That end up in a huge differentiator.
That's been an epic podcast.
Sorry, Kiara. I took longer than I was supposed to. Sorry, Elsa. I've really enjoyed this.
Awesome.
If you guys have any feedback or comments or any input, please, in the comment section. And even if you want to fight with me, I'm up for a fight. I've got lots of energy for you guys. Uncle Bobby and Top G,
out.
Boom.